Hey folks, it's day 4 of my 100-mile float of the French Broad River. I'm putting in here at Blantyre and hoping to float to Highway 191 in Mills River. It's a journey of about 12 or so miles, and so let's just stop talking about it and let's do it. I'm in an area of intensive agriculture. I've been floating through cornfield after cornfield after cornfield. And it's just so much corn. But you know, we Americans consume a lot of corn, so it has to be grown somewhere. And this is one of those places. As you can see, lots of corn. And yes, I eat corn. You probably eat corn, and just about everything you eat every day has some corn in it, whether it be corn on the cob or corn that's hidden inside your food. Maybe it's cornmeal or some type of filler. Even your dog and cat food has corn in it. Well, so corn is very important to our health and our existence. And while we do eat corn and we need corn, there's a lot of practices with growing corn that probably aren't as healthy for the river and for us as it could be, such as genetically engineered corn, or the monoculture that corn creates. It's all it is corn. There's no diversity here, and that in itself is a problem. And then of course all the pesticides and herbicides that are sprayed on corn. They make their way into the river because, well, we're right here beside the river. Right over here. This is how close the cornfield is to the French Broad. And so when the farmer sprays his fields, if this is not an organic field, which I doubt it is, then some of those pesticides and herbicides make their way into the river and affect the life in the river, and of course everything around it. And then of course when we eat the corn, we get some of that inside of us too. Now, I've left Transylvania County and entered into Henderson County. The river's slowed down dramatically, but there's still quite a bit of debris in the river from storms, log jams, trees and such. It's peaceful out here on the river today. Beautiful, beautiful day for a float. Now that is what I would call a starter castle. Way too much square feet, and probably for 2 people. Seems needless to me to use up so many resources to just sort of show off. But that's just my opinion. Everyone has one, right? That house makes me think of something that I might see here on the river soon. It's an area that was going to be developed and turned into a 900 or 1,000 home gated community known as Seven Falls. Lots of houses just like that. Along the river, golf courses, clubhouses, restaurants, the whole 9 yards. And, you know, more than likely yards and the associated agricultural and the associated chemical runoff when people have to treat their grass for weeds and such and fertilizers. So while they would be building this community on the river, the community itself would be harming the river. But often nature takes second seat to man's so-called progress. However, the Seven Falls community went bankrupt during the economy crisis in 2008, 2009, and basically fell apart. So that's good for the river, bad for the folks who had already purchased home sites, and of course the developers. But you know what? You don't hear me complaining about it. You can see up in that tree over there, there's quite a bit of corn stalks, about 12, 14 feet above the river. They're there because they were deposited there during the last flood, or maybe a flood last year. The French-Broad River floods regularly, and that is why there's so many farms around the river basin here. It deposits large amounts of very rich silt on the fields, and then of course plants grow better, and farmers figured this out a long time ago, and that's why they like to plant along rivers. But then they discovered that floods also destroyed their property. They became afraid of floods, so they built dikes and dams and berms to protect their land, to keep it from flooding. Then the silts, the very rich, nutrient-rich silts, were not deposited anymore, and they wondered why their soil suffered and why their plants didn't grow as well. And so they came up with fertilizer. Now fertilizer works, but not as well as Mother Nature's flooding cycle every year. Think about it. Looks like I'm coming into another big log jam area. I think I better put the camera down. Well, I am now entering the section of the river known as the Horseshoe Bend. It's where Horseshoe gets its name, the town of Horseshoe. Stop on this little sandbar here. I'm going to take a break. So as I was saying, this section of the river is the beginning of the Horseshoe Bend. And the Horseshoe Bend cuts sharply to the west, and then up to the north, and then back to the east, and then continues back to the north again. And it's this area that gives the town of Horseshoe, North Carolina, its name. I'm finding mussel shells everywhere. All over this little sandbar that I just stopped on for a break. They're all over the place. Look at them. There's another one. None of them are occupied, but what it tells me is that there's obviously a big bed of them right in this area somewhere. Look at that. Or that an otter has been here. So I'm just going to dig down in the sand and see what I find. Ah, another one, not occupied. Nobody's home. There's a whole bunch of them that have been eaten by something. Ah, found one. There's a little one. Another dead one. There's a live one. I'm not finding very many. Maybe they're deeper. This guy was only a few inches deep. There's not very many in this area now. It could be that the otters have recently been here and eaten a lot of them. Maybe that's why I'm finding their remains all over the sandbar and around it, and even buried in the sand. Or it could be that there's a toxic element to the water that is killing them. But owing to the amount of otter activity I've seen in this creek, I would say more likely it's otters. Another empty shell. Let's go check over on the other side of the sandbar and see what's over there. Ah, there we go. There's one. So take a look at these guys. This is what the otters like to eat. Nice. I haven't seen any much larger than this. Maybe this is as big as they get. I don't even know the species of these guys, but sometimes, you know, it's nice to not know everything. All I know is they're a freshwater mussel or clam type bivalve that is very important to the health of these rivers. They filter out impurities, and unfortunately they're being damaged and injured by toxins such as pollution from agricultural runoff and human waste and everything that we humans do to the river, basically. And of course non-native mussels that are coming into the area. These actually might be a non-native mussel. As I said, I don't know what species this is. All I know is they live here and the otters like to eat them. Very cool. Alright, let's get down the river. Better put these little guys back in the sand.
That really ain't no understanding nothing. Somewhere along the line, this here